Hello students, welcome to English lecture. Today we are going to discuss a very important point or important topic in grammar, that is types of questions. Students, there are major four types of questions in English language: WH question, yes no question, tag question or we call it question tag, and rhetorical questions. So what is WH question? The question begins with WH word. It's called WH question. Now here is the table of WH words and its indication. Where indicates place, when indicates time, why shows reason, what indicates object, who indicates person or subject, whom object or object, that is person, whose possessive, which things, how manner, how many countable, how much uncountable, how far distance, and how long duration. So in this way, each particular WH word indicates each particular thing. We have to consider these indications, then only we can use it correctly. Framing WH question. So what should be the formula? WH word plus auxiliary, that is helping verb, plus subject, that is doer in the sentence, and plus verb. For example, where did they go? Here, where is WH word, did is auxiliary, they is subject in the sentence, and go is the verb. So this should be the order of the words in WH question. That is WH word plus auxiliary plus subject plus verb. Another example, what are you doing now? Here, WH word is what, R is auxiliary, U is subject, and doing is verb. And other things, they come after verb. So in this way, we can see that WH word comes first, then auxiliary, then subject, and then verb, and then other things in the sentence. थोडक्यात WH क्वेश्चनमध्ये WH वर्ड आहे तो प्रॉपर वर्ड आपण चूज केला पाहिजे. त्यानंतर ऑक्झिलरी म्हणजे सहाय्यक क्रियापद ते तिथे येईल. त्यानंतर सब्जेक्ट म्हणजे करता येईल आणि व्हर्ब म्हणजे क्रियापद तिथे येईल आणि मग त्या वाक्यातला बाकीचा भाग पुढे येईल आणि शेवटी क्वेश्चन मार्क येईल. अशा प्रकारे WH वर्ड हा फ्रेम होत असतो. You should remember this formula so that you can form WH questions very correctly. And this technique or this what you call knowledge is very useful while framing questions for the interview. And that's why you should know this. Some exception to the rule is there. While using who or which and to be as the main verb, so the order changes. Who, WH word, is auxiliary and the winner subject. So auxiliary, there is no main verb and that's why this is the order. Who is the winner, WH word plus auxiliary plus subject. थोडक्यात इथे आपल्याला दिसेल की मेन व्हर्बच नाही आहे, टू बीचं रूपच हे मेन व्हर्ब म्हणून वापरलं आहे, तर तिथे हा एक्सेप्शन किंवा हे अपवाद असू शकतो. विच इज युअर बुक, WH वर्ड ऑक्झिलरी अँड सब्जेक्ट. व्हॉट वॉज द स्कोअर, WH वर्ड ऑक्झिलरी अँड सब्जेक्ट. सो इन दिस वे दिस कॅन बी द फ्रेमिंग ऑफ WH क्वेश्चन. While framing WH question, you should remember many things. Look at the underlined part in examination, one part of that sentence is underlined. So you have to look at that underlined part very carefully. What does it mean? You should know. And what is the place of that particular underlined part? Whether it is subject, or whether it is verb, or whether it is adjective, or whether it is adverb, you have to consider. So decide the WH word that will indicate the underlined part as answer. So you should ask so many questions to that particular part so that you will get the answer, and then only you can say that this is the proper WH word. Use tense accordingly, and you have to use tense accordingly. थोडक्यात WH क्वेश्चन फ्रेम करायचा जो क्वेश्चन आहे तुम्हाला एक्झामिनेशनमध्ये येतो तेव्हा एखाद्या सेंटेन्स दिलेलं असतं आणि त्याच्यामध्ये काही पार्ट हा अंडरलाईन केलेला असतो आणि तुम्हाला फ्रेम क्वेश्चन WH क्वेश्चन सो दॅट यू विल गेट द अंडरलाईन पार्ट ॲज आन्सर असं म्हटलेलं असतं. म्हणजे अंडरलाईन पार्ट हा आन्सर म्हणून आला पाहिजे. तर तुम्हाला तो अंडरलाईन पार्ट नीट पाहावं लागेल, त्याचा एकमेकांशी संबंध बघावा लागेल, त्यानंतर कोणता काळ वापरायचा हेही ठरवावं लागेल आणि कोणता WH वर्ड प्रॉपर तिथे इंडिकेट होतो आहे हेही तुम्हाला ठरवावं लागेल. सो फॉर एक्झाम्पल, ही रिटर्न टू पुणे इन 1980. हिअर अंडरलाईन इज अंडर in 1980. So it indicates time. So you have to choose the word when. If it is time, जर काळ म्हणजे कालावधी सांगितला असेल, काळ सांगितला असेल तर तुम्हाला when हा WH वर्ड तुम्हाला योजावा लागेल. So when did he return to Pune? Why we use did? Because it is past tense, return to Pune. So when did he return to Pune? Here you have to see the tense. Now he returned to Pune in 1980. Suppose it is the same sentence but underline is under he. Means here subject is indicated. So who returned to Pune in 1980? So here you have to use who. इथे कर्त्याच्या खालीच अंडरलाईन केलेलं असल्यामुळे तुम्हाला हू किंवा हूज याचा वापर करावा लागेल. इथं ही हे व्यक्तीच्याबद्दल सांगितलेलं आहे आणि त्यामुळे तुम्हाला इथे हू हे वापरावं लागेल. आणि त्यानंतर मात्र ऑक्झिलरी येणार नाही, डायरेक्ट रिटर्न हे पास्ट टेन्स तिथे येईल. सो इन धिस वे हू रिटर्न टू पुणे इन 1980. He returned to Pune in 1980. So underline is to Pune. So it indicates place. So you have to use where. इथं जागा स्थान दाखवलेलं आहे आणि त्यामुळे तुम्हाला where हे WH वर्ड वापरावं लागेल. So where did he return in 1980? We get the answer to Pune. He returned to Pune in 1980 by bus. So underline is by bus. So it suggests manner. Means how did he return to Pune in 1980? And the answer is by bus. So how indicates manner. एखादी क्रिया कशी केली गेली या संदर्भात आपल्याला हाऊचा वापर करावा लागतो. Next, he returned to Pune with his friends. So underline is with his friends. So we should get this answer. So with whom did he return to Pune? This can be proper question. With whom did he return to Pune? Here we have used whom. He lived in Pune for 40 years. So it suggests duration. How many years did he live in Pune? And these are countable because we count 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's why how many years did he live in Pune? Pune is 240 kilometers away from my town. So suppose underline is 240 kilometers. Then what will be the question? How far is Pune from my town? So it suggests the distance. So duration, distance, time, then place. You must try to understand that what should be the WH word there. तुम्हाला अंडरलाईन पार्ट समजावून घेऊन तिथे नेमका कोणता WH वर्ड वापरायचा हे त्या टेबलवरून ठरवावं लागेल. Now another type of question is yes-no question. Yes-no questions begin with auxiliary verbs and modal auxiliaries. Auxiliary verb means helping verbs. They are linking verbs. So auxiliary verbs are am, is, are, was, were, will, shall, have, has, had, do, does, did. These are primary auxiliaries. And the question begins with such auxiliary. Modal auxiliaries. They are can, could, may, might, should, must, would. All these are modal auxiliaries. So question can begin with such modal auxiliaries. That is called yes-no question because the answer is yes or no. Now some examples of yes-no question. Will you stay here for some time? So the question starts with auxiliary will. Will you stay here for some time? So what is the formula here? Auxiliary verb, then subject, and then the verb. Auxiliary verb, then the subject, and then the verb. So that is the formula. So will you stay here for some time? Here will is auxiliary verb, you is the subject, and stay is the verb. Is your tiffin with you? Here is auxiliary and your tiffin, that is the subject. Was there any confusion? So here was, that is the auxiliary, and there, that is subject. Have you completed the work? Here have is auxiliary, you is subject, and completed is the main verb. Do you know this information? So do is the auxiliary, you is subject, and know is the verb. So did they go to temple? Here did is auxiliary, they subject, and go verb. Of course, it is not necessary that there should be main verb in each and every sentence because some auxiliaries, they are used as main verb. For example, here, is your tiffin with you? Here there is no main verb. Is itself is main verb. Or was there any confusion? Here also was works as the main verb. And that's why you should know that what is the order of the words? That is auxiliary verb plus subject and then main verb or other part of the sentence. That should be the order of the words. शब्दांचा क्रम असा पाहिजे की पहिल्यांदा हेल्पिंग वर्ब किंवा सहाय्यकारी क्रियापद जे एम, इज, आर, वॉज, वेअर, विल, शॅल हे सगळे ऑक्झिलरी वर्ब्स आहेत त्यापैकी एक आणि त्यानंतर मग सब्जेक्ट म्हणजे करता येईल आणि मग त्यानंतर क्रियापद असेल तर क्रियापद येईल किंवा सेंटेन्सचा बाकीचा उर्वरित भाग त्यामध्ये येऊ शकेल. क्वेश्चन टॅग. Question tag is a part of that statement. If the sentence is affirmative म्हणजे होकारात्मक, the tag is negative. And if the sentence is negative, the tag is affirmative. So this should be remembered. जर वाक्य होकारात्मक असेल तर टॅग नकारात्मक असेल आणि जर वाक्य नकारात्मक असेल तर टॅग होकारात्मक असेल. While using tag, auxiliary verbs are used. ऑक्झिलरी वर्ब्सचा वापर इथे केला जातो. यूज ॲप्रोप्रिएट प्रोनाउन्स अकॉर्डिंग टू द सब्जेक्ट. ज्या वाक्यामध्ये जो सब्जेक्ट आहे करता आहे त्यानुसार प्रोनाउन आपल्याला पुढे वापरावं लागतं. सो हिअर आर सम एक्झाम्पल्स. द स्ट्रीट इज एम्प्टी. सो हिअर द स्ट्रीट इज सब्जेक्ट, इज ऑक्झिलरी वर्ब and here it is affirmative, so the tag will be negative. So isn't it? She went to the school. She went to the school, didn't she? Here went is simple past and that's why we have used here did as the auxiliary verb. She went to the school, didn't she? I'm new here. I'm new here, aren't I? So am is main verb and that's why aren't I that comes. They have not completed the task. Have they? So here the main sentence is negative and that's why the tag is affirmative. We didn't hope so. Did we? Here it is a negative sentence. So tag is affirmative. My friend Smita likes flowers. So here it is name is given. Personal name is given. So here you have to use she pronoun for Smita. So doesn't she? My friend Smita likes flowers. Doesn't she? Gopal isn't in the class. Is he? Gopal is a boy and that's why you have to use pronoun he. The students are wrong, aren't they? They will knock him down, won't they? So will becomes won't. That you should remember. Rhetorical questions. A rhetorical question is one for which the questioner does not expect a direct answer because the answer itself is hidden in the question. अशा प्रकारच्या रेटॉरिकल क्वेश्चनमध्ये त्याचं उत्तर हे त्यातच सामावलेलं असतं. आपल्याला ते उत्तर अपेक्षित नसतं की ते उत्तर दिलं जावं. While solving this question in activity sheet, you will simply begin your question with tag. पण जेव्हा तुम्हाला क्वेश्चन विचारला जातो परीक्षेमध्ये करायसाठी तेव्हा मात्र तुम्ही टॅगनी त्या क्वेश्चनची सुरुवात करा. Examples are given here. They didn't answer the questions. What will be the tag here? Did they? So begin with did they. Did they answer the questions? Answer is not expected. Did they answer the questions? We are in danger. Aren't we in danger? She will give the message. Won't she give the message? So the question begins with tag. She shouldn't exercise regularly. She should exercise regularly. Shouldn't she exercise regularly? So in this way, remember that rhetorical question starts with that is tag question. Question tag. So students, we have discussed 4 types of questions and I hope that you might have understood all these types and you can practice more and more at home so that you can frame questions correctly. So this is a very useful skill and this is a very useful topic in grammar because unless we express some questions, unless we frame some questions, we cannot converse with others because our dialogue depends on so many questions. And that's why we must know how to frame questions. I hope you might have understood it and you will do the practice at home. Thank you. Thank you very much.